Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Friends, I am here with yet another video on our total income series lectures. So this is my fifth lecture. So I hope you must have taken benefit of the first four lectures in this series, right? Now friends, in today's video, I have brought a new question. I mean, not a new question, but a question of your November 2022 attempt, which is your CA Inter exams, question number 1. Now I am trying to say that this is not a new question but a new type of sum which I am solving with you all in this lecture. Now friends, why I am discussing this and why I am saying this is a new type of sum is because of two reasons. Friends, in this question we have to solve PGBP as per direct method. Now just few minutes back I was checking your income tax module analysis and I found out that on direct method there is only one sum which is there in your module, which is in your total income tax liability computation chapter, test your knowledge, question number 7. So this is the only question which is there in module which is based on direct method. So cash system of accounting, net profit is not given in the question, and receipts and payment account is given. So this is the only sum in the module which is there for your practice. So I wanted you to discuss one more sum on direct method with you all. So when are we supposed to use direct method is when net profit as per PNL is not given in the question. Now another reason why this question is very special is in this question it is given that for PGPP the books of accounts are maintained on cash basis. So now cash basis is something which is very important. Friends, we all know that in EFOS and in income from business, which is PGBP, assessee has an option. Assessee has an option that the assessee can maintain the books of accounts either on mercantile system of accounting, which is normal due basis, or cash basis. Now in this question they have given that the accounts are maintained on cash basis. Now you might be thinking, sir, is there any difference whether the accounts are maintained on mercantile system or cash basis? Yes, there is a very big difference, friends. Because what happens in cash basis is you are supposed to record only those incomes which you have received, and you are supposed to record only those payments, those expenses which you have paid. So in other words, in due basis, you are not supposed to record credit sales, and you're not supposed to record outstanding expenses when you're talking about this cash system of accounting, correct? So the cash system of accounting is something which is very unique. Sometimes this type of question is also asked in CA Inter. All right, so these are the two reasons why I was saying that this is a new type of question which I am discussing in this series, because till now I have discussed only paragraph sums with you all, right? The first four lectures were based on paragraph sum. Now I wanted something unique, so that is why I'm discussing this question also. So friends, you are very well aware that you may be asked your question number 1 in T form. Lot of sums are available for practice in T form. I have given 4 sums which are there in paragraph form. Now this sum I am discussing with you all, which is in the direct method. All right, so let us start. So you will have a lot of variety. So now if anything is asked in the question, whether it is T form, whether it is paragraph form, whether it is direct method, you should be efficient enough, and you should be ready enough that you will be able to solve all type of sums. Maybe that it is not possible for some of the students to get the complete correct answer. See, you don't have to think that you have to get 15 out of 15 or 14 out of 14, whatever. So your mindset should be that you will try and solve maximum things correct in this first question. Okay, don't always think, because there are some students who are complaining, sir, I am not able to get the answer question number 1 correctly anytime. Sir, I must have solved 50 sums, but I don't get it correct in even one time. That is okay. Even if your entire question is not correct, it is okay. Even if part of the answer is correct, you will get marks for your steps, right? So let us start. Now friends, whenever you are solving any sum, you should always first read the first paragraph and the last paragraph. Let us start. Dr. Roshan, 82 years old resident. See, important information has started. 82 years. So if tax calculation is asked, or maybe 80 TTB is there, etc., etc. This age will help, right? Resident, so doctor, so business profession, resident 82 years, all right. Having nursing home in Mumbai gives you the following information for the year ended 31st March 2026, all right. Now let us see what is given in the last paragraph. So they are saying you are required to compute the total income and the tax payable. Very, very important information. They are asking you income as well as tax payable. As per the regular provisions of the Act, and assume he has not opted for 115 BSc. Not opted for 115 BSc is like one way saying that it is shifted out of 115 BSc. So this is my question. So it means this is going to be a lengthy question because of two things. First, they're asking tax also. Then they are asking what will be your income and tax if he opts for presumptive basis. So friends, this is going to be a big question comparatively, right? So let us start. So we are supposed to compute income, tax, and we are supposed to compute as per two provisions, regular provisions and income and tax as per 44 ADA also. So income also twice, tax also twice, correct? Let us start. Now friends, in this question, they have given you receipts in payment account. So the very first thing is there is no net profit which is there in the question. Now, when you understand that net profit is not given in the question, then it means you have to solve the sum as per direct method. What is direct method? Simple, business income minus business expenses. All right, let us start friends. Now, the very first thing, payment side, we can start with income or payment, it doesn't matter. Salary to staff, business expense. Taxes and insurance. Until and unless any information is not given, we will take all positive assumptions. If something is given in additional information, we may take that information also. But currently, till now, think positive allowed. Entertainment expense also, let us think positive. It is related to their business and profession, related to staff, customers, clients. Purchase of television. This is something which is favorite of ICAI from last many attempts. See, television is an asset. This person is not trader of television. This person is a doctor. So now this person is buying television in clinic, hospital, etc., etc. Then this is an asset. So for assets, it is a capital expenditure. So for assets, this is not business expense. I mean, it is not a revenue expense. So for assets, what you get is you get depreciation. So as far as your this is concerned, your tickety and chokedy is concerned, we will do cross mark. Why? Because this is not connected with your business revenue expenditure. This is connected with your capital expenditure. So you will get some deduction, but that deduction will be in the form of depreciation. So you cannot claim entire cost as deduction over here. Gift to daughter-in-law. So daughter-in-law is like son's wife, right? So in the act, it is written that if you give anything to son's wife, then if you remember, some clubbing provisions are getting attracted. But currently, this is gift. They have not given any information whether this amount was invested or whether this amount has earned some money, etc., etc. So till extra information is given, I will consider it as not my business expense. Interest on loan for repairs to property. We don't know whether this is business or residential property, but let us take a positive assumption currently. Personal medical expenses obviously will not be allowed. Deposit in PPF. This is not my business expense. This will go in ATC because we are solving total income sums. Nursing home expense. This is business expense. Professional fees paid for consulting services. For a doctor, he might have consulted some outside doctors also. Purchase of furniture but at home. So if you purchase furniture at home, so this is obviously not my business expense, not even a capital expenditure for my business. This is my personal expense, and again personal expenses. Then receipts and payments, balance carried forward. So this is not my expenditure. This is like cash balance. So this is also not connected with my business. Then next is on the receipt side. They are saying opening balance. This is not my income. Now, very, very important, fees from visits to other hospitals. So this is my business income. But friends, very, very important, net amount is given in the question. So when we solve the sum, when we prepare the statement of PGBP, we have to convert the net into, you have to say, we have to convert the net into gross. Now, most important thing of this particular question. Fees of March 25 was received in April 25. Friends, we are solving sum for the year 2025 2026, correct? So for us, the year starts in April 2025. They are saying fees of March 25 was received in April 25. So it means this is some fees which is related to last year. Now last year's some medical, some patient would have come. This doctor assessee must have given some services, but last year's fees is received now. Now what are we supposed to do with this? So if we would have followed mercantile system of accounting. This is last year's income. But friends, as I said earlier in my video, they have given he keeps his books of accounts on cash basis and has not opted for 44 ADA. So that we already know that they are asking question as per both normal and 44 ADA, that we will do at a later stage. But let us concentrate on this cash basis. So now friends, since this person is following cash basis, even though this fees is connected to last year, services might have been given in last year, but because the fees is received in this year, this would be considered as business income of this year. Then dividend from shares, again net amount is given. Now if net is given, then net has to be converted into gross. And dividend is not my business income, it will go under income from other sources. Fees received during the year. Now if nothing is given, we can assume gross amount. Now this is again something which is very important. Gift received from relatives of patients. Now friends, patient is our customer client. Now as a doctor, if you treat some patient, that person is your customer or client. Now, but over here they have given gift is received from relatives of patients. So over here it is assumed that obviously that the patient might still be recovering, that patient might not be able to get gift for the doctor. So the relatives are brought on behalf of the patient. So this is as good as gift received from customer's client, and this is business income. This is gift received from customer client. This is business income. Very, very important. Honorarium for painting services in Jai Hind Art School. Friends, honorarium, now again they have given net amount. Now normally for a professional, TDS is deducted when the amount is more than 30,000. So 10%, right? Now, and as per the amendment, now it is 50,000. So you obviously you have to remember the amended part only. But earlier it was 30,000. Now it is 50,000. But since still in the question it is given, it is net amount. So it's okay. Ideally speaking, if the amount is less, TDS should not have been deducted. But now what if they have given in the question, this is a net amount? So it's okay. Ideally, it should not have been deducted, but still, even if it is deducted, no problem. We will convert the net into gross. So sometimes it might happen that I should have received my full amount, but the party has deducted my TDS. It's okay. We can claim it as prepaid taxes while calculating our tax, if you remember. So this will go under IFOS. This will go under IFOS, and over there also net has to be converted into gross. All right, then income tax refund. Now this income tax refund is not my income, but it says it includes an interest of 1500. So this 1500 rupees is my income from other sources. So friends, whether you are solving sum in T form, whether you are solving sum in receipts and payment account, and whether you are solving your sums in paragraph form. One thing which you would appreciate and which you would agree with me is this knowledge of tick and cross remains the same everywhere. So everywhere the same set of theory, the same set of knowledge is required. They can ask you question in 3-4 different ways. But as far as your tick and cross knowledge is concerned, if it is related to business, we do tick. Not related to business, we do cross. That knowledge, that concepts remains the same. Now, other information, the first point we have already done. The second point says salary includes 60,000 paid to his sister who is qualified. So, sister is your relative, but she is qualified. So 60,000, it's okay. So if the sister is qualified, then we can make the payment. But the question says it is paid in cash. So cash payment above 10,000 friends is not allowed. So salary, out of this salary, 2,60,000 paid in cash is not allowed. What is the reason of this being not allowed? Is it because it is paid to relatives? No. Because even if you make a payment to relatives and that amount is a reasonable amount, it is allowed. But the reason it is paid in cash more than 10,000. So entire 60,000 would be not allowed and balance 2,90,000 would be allowed. Then next adjustment, friends, is about entertainment expense include 25,000 for dinner to doctors in a 5-star hotel. Now friends, we are solving sum for Dr. Roshan. Now Dr. Roshan has spent some amount for some party. But party was given to fellow friends, fellow doctors only. So, if you are running a business, if you are a chartered accountant, you need a lot of chartered accountants to help you in your business. You are a lawyer, you need lawyers in your business. This person is a doctor, might be having a clinic or a hospital. Then you need to have that doctor's team and doctor nurse team with you all, so that you can do your business efficiently. So we can take positive assumption that this is everything related to business, and not like this is not like personal party. This is a party which was necessary so that your group of you can say doctors which is helping you in your business, they are happy. So even institute has taken a positive assumption that this is something which is related to your business and profession, and that is why this is allowed. Even we professors, when we are working in some classes, so in Mumbai I go to 2-3 different classes also. So even they are chartered accountants, the owner is a chartered accountant, but they are giving party to us. So one chartered accountant who is running a class is giving party to other chartered accountants, then that is that is treated as part of staff only, that is allowed as a business expense. Interest on loan for repairs of property include 40,000 for residential property. Oh, so over here 65,000 is the amount which we did tick. But now they are saying that out of 65,000, 40,000 was related to property, personal property. Now they have not given whether the property is LOP or DLOP, but we take an assumption that it must be SOPR. So out of 65,000, 40,000 is related to SOPR. So it means now only balance 25,000 is related to some business property, right? So 25,000 is allowed. Then his daughter-in-law earned rupees 10,000 from the amount received as gift. So in clubbing provisions we have studied, if any gift is given to daughter-in-law, son's wife, and if any income is earned from that gift, then this would be clubbed in the hands of the transferor. So clubbing provisions would be attracted, and we assume that the income earned by daughter-in-law is income from other sources, and we would tax in the hands of Dr. Roshan. Fixed asset, nursing home equipment, medical goods, laptop. Friends, all this will help us in computation of depreciation. So we have to compute depreciation of income tax separately, even if we are following direct method, right? So nursing home equipment, we can keep 15% depreciation. Medical books, 40% depreciation. Laptop also 40% depreciation. Television purchase for nursing home purpose, purchased on 21st of September and put to use on 3rd October. So friends, the television, if you remember, over here there was one television 48,000. They are saying it was put to use on 3rd October. So if you remember, if you put to use anything till 3rd October, you get full year depreciation on this. So you get full year depreciation. If it is put to use from 4th October till any time like November, December, January, February, March, then it is half year depreciation. He donated 100% towards PM Cares Fund. So PM Cares Fund is 100% reduction under 80G. So he donated 10,000 rupees. So this is your 80G deduction. So friends, this is our analysis. Now let's start solving the sum. So what I have done is I have kept the format ready. In exams also you can do this. You keep the format ready, draw the format very fast. And then, once the format is ready, you start posting everything. So see, when you draw the format, first you have to analyze how many heads of income are required. So in this, house property is required, PGPP is required, EFOS is required. Do we have capital gain in this question? No. Do we have income from salary in this question? No. So those two things I have not written. Then in chapter 6A, there is 80C, yes. If you remember PPF, 80G, yes. And that's it. And then we are supposed to calculate tax also. So what I have done is I have divided my NTI into 5 parts and kept it ready. So as soon as I get my NTI, I'll start calculating tax. All right. And then I've also kept this statement of PGBP ready. All right. But in this question, we are going to solve the sum as per the direct method. Now friends, you must be having this in your mobile phone, or maybe you are having this, you can say Xerox of this. So what we are going to do is we are going to start solving this sum now. So what I am also doing is I am keeping one thing in my hand also, so that we can save some time. All right. So now the very first thing is house property. Friends, let us assume that the house which is given in the question is SOPR. So what are you supposed to do is you are supposed to write your assumptions also in the question. Now instead of writing all assumptions as a separate note in sentence form, you can write in bracket only assumed SOPR. So I have written statement of total income, normal provisions I have written. I mean, when I say normal provisions means we have shifted out of 115 BAC. So in SOPR, now the interest on loan which is related to your this house property, it was 40,000, but it is related to repairs. So when loan is related to repairs, then the deduction which you get is maximum 30,000. So in exams, obviously I know you are not allowed to use red pen, but I am writing it over here so that in revision, when you are solving the sum with me, you understand, okay, this seems to be something which is very important, right? So 30,000. Then we are going to solve the sum of PGBP. Now in PGBP, as I said, we have to solve the sum as per direct method. So what are we supposed to do in direct method is we are supposed to write all tick business incomes and all tick business expenses. So business income minus business expenses. If you don't have a Xerox, what you can do is you can pause it over here, take a screenshot of this. You can take a screenshot of this and then you can continue solving the sum, or having a Xerox is always better. All right. So now as far as your PGBP is concerned, friends, fees from visits to other hospitals, they had given net amount. So what we have to do is we have to convert the net into gross. How do you convert the net into gross? Gross is equal to net plus TDS. For a doctor, TDS must have been deducted at 10%. So in the question, 90 is the amount, net amount given. So 100 is what we are supposed to find. So in the question, they have given 585. So what we do is we do cross multiply 585 into 100 divided by 90, and then we get 6,50,000. All right. Then next is something which is very, 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 very important. Fees of March received in April 25. This is important because, friends, this is last year's fees, but we are following cash basis. So it is allowed in this year. So this is 85,000. Then fees received during the year, nothing is given, so we assume gross only. Then give received from patients, very, very important, 45,000. So there is no use of, no need of taking calculator in your hand right now. See, if there is very less time and you feel that you have only 2-3 minutes in your hand, then it is better to do the totaling and write an amount in the outer column. Or sometimes what you can do is to save your time, write everything in the outer column only. All right. So all these tricks are useful when you have less time, so that you don't have to waste time to calculate one amount and write another amount in the outer column. So if you have less time, don't waste time, you waste your energy in calculating the total. Write everything in outer column only, because ultimately what we are doing is we are writing all business incomes together, right? So this is a list of your business incomes. Now friends, business expenses. Now salary to staff. So salary to staff only 290 would be allowed, because 60,000 paid in cash to sister was not allowed. Then taxes and insurance, 26,000 is allowed. Then entertainment expense, very, very important. Assume that doctors are related to their business circle only. Then interest on loan related to business property, 25,000 is allowed. So if you remember, in direct method we are writing only tick items. Then nursing home expenses, 375 is allowed. Then professional fees, 120 is allowed. Correct. So this is all, everything related to your business expenses. Now depreciation, very, very important. Now friends, in depreciation, the very first is nursing home equipment, 2,20,000. So 15% would be the rate of depreciation, which would be 33,000. Books, for a professional, books is an asset. So 35,000 into, we will take 40%. So which will come to 14,000. Then laptop is 40,000 into 40%, which is 16,000. Now TV is 48,000, and again equipment 15%, which would be 7,200. So now in TV, I want to discuss something with you which is very, very important. Now friends, if you see your solution which is given by ICAI in TV, what they have done is they have taken that TV is a part of like other assets, your plant and machinery, and the rate of depreciation they have taken 15%. But they have given two more alternative answers. Now what they have done is, if you go to various clinics, various hospitals, various doctors, friends, TV is used along with the computer system. So if you assume that TV is used along with computer, it becomes computer accessory. And computer accessory, you can take depreciation as 40%. This is an alternative answer which ICAI has given, but it is an alternative answer. Even if you write 15% and solve as per this is correct. So whenever you see alternative answers, it means if you write another assumption, they will give you marks for that also. This is a speciality of professional course, that you don't have to ratify everything. If you assume something and it is a reasonable assumption, they can give you marks for that. So they have solved the sum as per 15%, but they have given, if you assume that TV is used along with computer and TV is a computer accessory, you may take higher depreciation of 40%. Another is they have assumed that if you assume TV is a part of furniture, then furniture's rate of depreciation is 10%. So what the ICAI has done is they have given the answer as per this, but they have ensured that if you have done some other assumptions of like furniture, this, then in that case also they are giving you the marks. All right. So friends, this is everything about your business income and business expenses. Then what we can do is after we are done with this, then we can take a total of this. So over here it would be 18 lakh 5,000, and in expenses, I think if you see the outer answer, the final answer is I think 7,88,000. So this final answer which you get in the outer column is 7,88,000. So this is your taxable PGBP. All right. So your depreciation and this everything else. So the outer column is 7,88,000. Correct. So now this is your this. Now let us do income from other source, friends. Now in income from other source, again they have given net amount. So again we have to convert the net into gross. Now friends, sometimes it may happen that the company was actually not liable to deduct TDS. But if ICAI has given that it is net amount, then even though the company should not have ideally deducted TDS, but still they have deducted and given us the net amount, then we have to take it net and convert the net into gross. So in dividend, the rate of dividend is 10%, right? Same with honorarium also, they have given it is net amount. So every time they give you net amount, you have to ensure that the net is converted into gross. So in dividend, the TDS is 10. In honorarium, it is like professional fees, it is again 10. So whatever amount they have given in the question, what is the dividend amount which they have given in the question? The dividend is 18,900. Correct. So 18,900, the net amount is given in the question. So you have to convert the net into gross. So if gross is 100, net is 90, 18,900 is 90 converted into gross. Same goes with honorarium. So this is 90, this is 100. What is given in the question is 22,500. Then cross multiply and then find out the gross amount. All right. Then next, friends, if you have taken benefit from this, please like, share and subscribe the video. It really gives us a lot of motivation to bring more and more new sums, friends. Then next is interest on income tax refund. This is 1,500. This is something which is ICAI's favorite. And then clubbing related is 10,000. So now the total of EFOS is 57,500. Correct. So this is my EFOS, which is 57,500. So what I will do is I will write 57,500 over here. Then how much was my business? 7,88,800. So friends, how much will be my GTI? GTI would be 8,16,300. Now ATC, deposit in PPF. So how much is the amount which is deposited in PPF? 55,000. Maximum under ATC is 1,50,000. ATG 100% reduction for PM CARES fund. So you get 100% reduction for that, which is 10,000. Now something which is very, very unique and very, very important in ICAI solution is, friends, they have taken a deduction for ATD. Now, why has the institute taken a deduction 80D in their model suggested answers is, if you see friends over here, they have given personal medical expenses. Now, what the institute has written in their suggested answer is, if you assume that this doctor does not have a mediclaim policy active in his name, then under 80D, medical expenditure is allowed to deduction as a deduction, and the doctor is a senior citizen. So 50,000 deduction is allowed. Now this institute has written, we assume that there is no medical policy. So in my opinion, if you don't assume this and don't take a deduction, that is also fine, friends, because they have written, we assume that there is no medical insurance policy, and therefore you get another deduction of 50,000 in 80D being a senior citizen. So this way you get a reduction of 50, 55 and 10, correct? And your final answer comes to 7,01,300. See, this is our answer, 7,01,300. Now we are supposed to calculate tax in 111A, 112A, 112 winnings, nothing is there, 7,01,300 is your balance amount. On your balance amount, you calculate tax as per slab rate. Now this person has shifted out of 115 BAC and this person age is 82 years. So first 5 lakh will be nil. Then balance amount would be 20%. Correct. So in this case, directly on 2,01,300, you'll take 20%, which will come to 40,260. Now from this 40,260, now we do Rohit Sharma, my classic player. For students who are directly watching this lecture for the first time and who don't know what is Rohit Sharma, my classic player, basically this is my code word to remember the sequence in which we are supposed to do the calculation of rebate, surcharge and all. So rebate, surcharge, marginal relief, cess and prepaid taxes. Rohit Sharma, my classic player, minus plus minus plus minus. Rebate we minus, surcharge we add, marginal relief we minus, cess we add, prepaid taxes we less. So in this sum, there is no question of rebate because the amount is 7 lakh above 5 lakh. Correct. So there is no surcharge, there is no rebate. Directly we will do 4% health and education cess. So 4% health and education cess would be 1610. So the total amount is 41,870. Very, 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 very important. We are supposed to do prepaid taxes effect also. We are supposed to give an effect of prepaid taxes because friends, in this question there are TDS. There is a TDS on professional fees. If you remember, there was a TDS on dividend also. If you remember, there was a TDS on honorarium fees also. So there are 3 TDS which are already deducted. So it means that amount is prepaid, right? Now how do you find out the TDS amount? So see, in the question they have given 5,85,000 was net. Now what we did while calculating PGBP, we converted the net into gross. So we converted that into gross, right? Now it means the 10% TDS component now we are supposed to find out. So if you do 10% in these 3 cases, where is the amount? Yes. So in case of fees, that 10% comes to 65,000. In dividend, it comes to 2,100. And in this honorarium, it comes to 2,500. So the final answer is negative 27,730. And if it is a negative amount, it means this is a case of refund. So friends, this sum is unique in very, very different ways. First of all, direct method. then cash basis, then this convert the net into gross, then friends this prepaid taxes. So that is why I selected this particular question, because I wanted you to practice this type of sums also. Correct. Now friends, we are done with the first part. Now second part, they are asked what if you compute everything, but now in PGPP if presumptive basis has been taken. So see, what we can do is, I have done this statement of total income again as per normal provisions only in PGPP we have to take presumptive basis. So house property we will directly write 30,000. EFOS will also be same. Then this chapter 6A will also remain same. Only PGPP will change, friends. In PGPP we will do 18 lakh 5,000 into 50%, because in 44 ADA it is 50%. How did I get 18 lakh 5,000? All our business incomes, if you see the incomes which we have received, that 18 lakh 5,000 will be my receipts. So what we do in PGPP presumptive basis, gross receipts multiply by 50%, right? So 18 lakh 5,000 into 50%, which will be 9 lakh 2,500. So what I will do is, over here this will change, this will be 9 lakh 2,500, correct? 9 lakh 2,500. Rest all everything will remain same. My house property will remain same 30,000. My EFOS will remain same. My chapter 6A will remain same. Now the final answer over here will become 8 lakh 15,000. Again, if I have to calculate tax in this also, this would be 8 lakh 15,000. So no rebate, no surcharge, no marginal relief. So first what I will do is, I will calculate as per slab rates. So as per slab rates, it comes to 63,000. How did I find? First 5 lakh nil, then 5 lakh to 8 lakh 15,000, which is 3 lakh 15,000. You get 20%. In exams, if you don't show the working of slab rate, that is okay. You can directly solve in your calculator also. Plus 4% health and education cess, which would be 2520. So the total amount would be 65,520. Again, less prepaid taxes. In prepaid taxes, I have got, how much was the amount in prepaid taxes in my earlier question? 65,000, 2,100, 2,500. 65,000, 2,100, 2,500. So you can write the direct amount also, and now you get a refund of 4080. So friends, in my earlier method, in which I was calculating PGPP as per normal provisions, I was getting a refund of 27,000. So obviously this is better than 4080. So I have to write one final note that assessee should opt for you can say the normal provisions and not the 44 ADA, because in normal provisions the refund amount is higher. So friends, this was my question for today on your total income. I hope you have taken maximum benefit from this. Now friends, next time I am planning to solve one more sum, and the next sum which I am planning to solve is your November 23 sum. Now this is for the next video. Today's video is over, but I'm just explaining you that why I'm going to solve this sum now in the next video. It is in T form. You will be shocked, sir, you're not solving T form sums, right? But I want to solve this sum because obviously in exams they might ask you T form also. But other than T form, there is something more special about this sum is, in this sum you are supposed to compute your total income and tax thrice. Yes, not once, not twice, but thrice you are supposed to compute. So question is comparatively smaller. It was asked in November 23, but first question you have to solve 3 times. So I'm planning to solve this sum in the next lecture. All right. No if, no but, only but. All the best, everybody. Bye bye. Take care.